like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, the idea of Boruto becoming a Jinchuriki has been popular ever since pretty much the series of Boruto was announced. Now we actually have a reason, or a good reason, why Boruto should actually become a Jinchuriki. From the last chapter of the Boruto manga, we found out that a lack of chakra gives Momoshiki the ability to actually take over Boruto's body and become BoruShiki, of course, as we've seen. Now Boruto is not like Naruto. Naruto automatically had a lot of chakra because he was half Uzumaki. Boruto still is part Uzumaki, but he still doesn't have nearly the amount of chakra that Naruto has, even without the tail beast. But in this particular situation, the tail beast would be one of the easiest remedies to give Boruto almost unlimited chakra. Now in terms of how realistic the situation actually is, I personally think it's going to be very realistic, just because of the sheer fact that a lot of tail beasts have a very good relationship to Naruto, and of course a lot of tail beasts, they don't necessarily like to be kept inside a cage, kept inside of a Jinchuriki hose. They want to be free, so of course it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. But if Naruto can actually convince some of the tail beasts to understand this right here is actually necessary to not only save the ninja world, but also to potentially even save the tail beast from all being collected again by Momoshiki and turn into another 10 tails, then I'm pretty sure they would be on board. Boruto's quality of life as a Jinchuriki would probably be nothing like how the past Jinchuriki's quality of life was. I'm pretty sure you guys remember when Naruto, God, pretty much all the Jinchurikis were actually Jinchurikis. They were viewed as something completely dangerous, nasty monsters that nobody really wants to talk to, and because of that they were ostracized from the public society. But in this day and age, tail beasts are quite literally famous. They actually make stuffed animals and they sell out within minutes, so I'm pretty sure Boruto would not necessarily live with the same stigma that the other Jinchurikis did actually live with. In fact, I think that Boruto would kind of be like a celebrity. The one thing that I could see as a potential downside, or it might even be an upside for a lot of you guys out there, is the fact that Boruto will potentially even be too strong for his own good. And I do want to point out, I don't necessarily expect for him to be on Sasuke or Naruto's level, but in terms of the actual Ganins, Chunins, and even Jonins in the Hidden Leaf Village and the Shinobi world, I'm pretty sure almost immediately Boruto would probably be stronger than a lot of them. What we have to understand is that right now with the tail beast, I'm pretty sure they'll let Boruto use their power as needed. For example, back in the day when Jinchuriki actually wanted to actually use their tail beast power, they had to go through a very long and arduous process to, of course, acquire the power of their tail beast. We've seen in depth when Naruto went through the whole process, but Boruto, as I said, does not have to go through this process, mainly because the tail beast being sealed into Boruto would be an agreement between the tail beast and Naruto. He'd be able to use their power as he wishes, so almost immediately he'd have access to insane amount of chakra. Boruto will also learn how to master a lot of the tail beast abilities, which would then make Boruto extremely overpowered. Now I think one of the obvious downsides to this situation, of course, is not going to be anything too crazy. The fact that Boruto's missions, it wouldn't necessarily be that entertaining. For example, of course, we've seen Team 7 go out on many missions, and of course those missions were absolutely entertaining, and they actually did provide for some very good anime episodes. It would literally almost make no sense for us to just see Boruto do regular escort or bodyguard missions. Now in terms of which tail beast I think that Boruto should actually get sealed into himself, I think one of the more realistic options would probably be Shikaku, just because of the sheer fact that we've seen Shikaku already in the Boruto anime. I think second to Karma, Shikaku has the most screen time in Boruto. Not only that, Shikaku also spent time with the Uzumaki household, but in my opinion, I think that the one that I probably want to see the most would probably be Son Goku. Now I do want to point out, I didn't necessarily research all the tail beasts, so I'll probably make a separate video about this if you guys do want, giving you guys the pros and the cons to a lot of the tail beasts out there. But I think Son Goku would probably match Boruto very well. One of the first things is the fact that I think that Son Goku will probably be a lot more open to actually accepting this request, just because of the sheer fact that Naruto was the first person to open Son Goku's eyes to how good humans can actually be. If you guys do recall, Son Goku was pretty much like one of the first tail beasts that Naruto actually talked to during the 4th Great Shinobi War. Now to the actual tangible things, Boruto's chakra natures that we do know of as of right now is of course lightning style, wind style, and water style. Recently we found out about water style, but now Son Goku has fire style and earth style, so essentially Boruto would have all 5 chakra natures. And not only that, Son Goku would also give Boruto a Kekkei Genkai, which would be lava release, which personally for me, lava release was always one of my favorite Kekkei Genkais, and especially Son Goku's lava release, just the way it looks. And speaking of lava release, Boruto would also get his lava chakra mode. It just looks good overall, and of course it's not necessarily just there for show. Of course it has a lot of tangible abilities. For example, Boruto would be able to burn up his enemies before he even reaches contact, and of course it would be a good deterrent from enemies actually trying to touch Boruto while in this lava chakra mode. Now not only that, Son Goku actually does match Boruto in terms of taijutsu and strength. Of course we understand one of Boruto's main abilities is taijutsu. He loves to actually fight, especially with the shadow clones. Son Goku on the other hand is probably one of the strongest tail beasts. Of course 9 tails notwithstanding, Son Goku is definitely up there. He pretty much tossed the 3 tails with ease, and not only that, he's also elite in taijutsu as well. I think that this would probably be one of the best matches in terms of tail beast and Boruto that we could probably find. Now I do want you guys to think about the situation in the comment section below. Do you guys think that this would actually be a real realistic fix with Boruto. Now, of course, I do have to point out Boruto's Karma Seal transformation is already 80% complete. We understand that in the future when Boruto is a teenager, he's not 100% taken over by Momoshiki as of yet, but we still have to understand, like, Boruto as of right now is still 80%. So of course, making Boruto a Jinchuriki would probably be a temporary fix. We'd have to figure out a way to actually stop the progression of the Karma Seal to fully fix the situation that Boruto was actually on. And I think that's definitely going to happen because, as I said, in 3 years when Boruto is an actual teenager, he isn't 100% taken over by Momoshiki as of yet. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Give me what you guys think. As I said, you guys think it's going to be a realistic situation, and also give me which tail beast you guys want to see sealed into Boruto. But it's me, your boy Baara, and we out.
It's a knife.